Welcome back to the MMA Plug presented by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM Mile High Sports Radio. We are here with Denver, Colorado's own Brandon Raw Dawg Royval, one of the top flyweight contenders fighting right here out of Factory X in Denver. He's going to be making his return back to the octagon this Saturday. Brandon, thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you for having me, brother.
Absolutely, Brandon. So it's been a few months since people have seen you. Obviously, your last time in the cage wasn't the most ideal of circumstances with the injury, but I think that even though that didn't necessarily go your way that night, I don't think you necessarily lost, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Some people are like, what is there to learn, or like, what do you overcome from that loss? And like, there's a bunch of things to learn for sure, but it's like I don't necessarily consider it as much of a loss as much as it was like just horrible circumstances of me dislocating my shoulder, but there's a lot to learn from any fight, of course. But that being said, I don't necessarily chalk it up as a loss or like an L on my record necessarily.
But I guess not necessarily in the fight sense, which I totally get there. And we'll dive more into that here in a minute. But I guess from your status or your rank within the fans, or the way that people appreciate you now, the way that a lot of people in Colorado have been able to see and appreciate you for years.
Yeah. I didn't lose any stock at all, really. That's the best part. I'm back in here in another title contention fight, and just ready to go gain that stock right back and let them know why I should be the goddamn champion of the world right now.
Absolutely, man. So with that said, you that matchup last November was to Brandon Moreno, who is now the UFC Flyweight Champion. That was a fight that, in my opinion, you were en route to winning. You were going to win that fight. As you know, if the shoulder doesn't pop, that's your fight. He goes on to then win the championship. What is your feeling behind that? And I know you had some of those feelings of confidence as the fight was going to go on, that was going to go in your direction too.
Yeah. For me, it's more like it is more of just like I was happy, I'm happy for the guy. He's a great person, it wasn't jealousy at all. It was more just it was more joy than anything. It's like, one, I wanted to win that fight. I want to see him do good. Brandon Moreno's obviously a good person, and he does a lot of good things. That being said, I had a chance to fight him. I thought I could beat him. I still think I can beat him, and it was just more validation of what I'm doing is correct. I'm on the right path, and we're set course, man. I didn't lose any stock, and I'm set course to go win that belt by the end of the year, or by next year.
So I would be a terrible journalist if I didn't ask this question at least. How does the shoulder feel?
The shoulder feels amazing, man. The shoulder is probably the least amount of injury that I have in my body nowadays. So it's great. I've shown nothing but attention to it, and just been going through the process of healing it and making it better. It's weird though. It feels like there's never an injury there now, and it's been better than it's ever been. So I'm super excited about all of it.
Certainly. So let's switch gears for a second. Let's talk the matchup. You're fighting Alexander Pantoja, who he's basically been a boogeyman in the division for a long time. He's been there and fought almost everybody. He's a longtime vet. He was a veteran of the Ultimate Fighter back in the day. So he's someone who is very well known as far as his profile within the public eye goes. What does this matchup mean for you?
Yeah. I remember watching him when I was really young in the Resurrect. I watched him win his UFC or the Resurrection belt against a local Denver guy. But what it means to me is just an opportunity, man. It's a body and a ranking that I'm trying to take. Alexander Pantoja, I actually met him while we're on this trip. Super nice guy, super cool, and it's like you don't want to put that much importance onto like the person he is, because it's like I don't want to fight someone like that if I do think that. But it's just like what I'm fighting is a body and a ranking and some dude that's in between me and my dreams, and when I think of it like that, I just think it has an obstacle I got to overcome. He's amazing. He is a super dangerous opponent, probably the most dangerous flyweight that's not me in the division right now. So what he brings to the table is nothing but pure intense finishing power, and I get an opportunity to go solve that puzzle in front of in the right crowd and the right circumstances and all that stuff, man. And it's just a great opportunity for me to kind of further and continue my career.
So you mentioned that it's a great showcase opportunity for you to add another high profile name and a top contender to your resume. With a win here, do you think that that puts you in title content, to be the next guy? Should they not run that back for a trilogy with Moreno and Figueiredo?
Yeah. I think I'm already in the talks with it right now, but I think with the performance I'm about to put out and what I'm about to do out there, I want to make it undeniable. That's literally the goal. Is from here on out, I'm chasing three things, man, and that's one, a title shot. I want to fight in front of a crowd more than anything, man. That's the opportunity I want to do. I want to earn myself with this, and also I just want some respect, man. I should be co-main event or main event of this card, and there's no reason I should be this low on this card, in my opinion. And it's like, I want to go out there and have everybody put some respect on my name. The way I do that is by going out there, dismantling Pantoja, and then earning a title shot, and all that goes away. If I go out there, earn a title shot, I'm fighting in front of a crowd. I'm fighting in a main event, co-main event spot, and that's earning some respect right there. So that's the goal of today, or of this weekend.
Let's talk about that for a second. So you mentioned that, and this is something that I have long viewed as an issue with the UFC and how they've handled the flyweight division. There was a few years ago where I remember there was a card where Sergio Pettis was fighting against Joe Benavidez. They were two of the top contenders. I believe they were like number 1 and 3 at the time, if I'm not mistaken. But they were on the Fight Pass prelims of a card. And
yeah, that's an amazing fight right there.
And you had CM Punk on the main card of that event. So, but then the argument was, when there was the talks of the division potentially going away, that the UFC, or that the flyweights just weren't exciting or didn't move the needle and blah, blah, blah along those lines. But I feel like sometimes the promotion doesn't give that division the respect that it deserves, as you mentioned, to have the chance to really kind of build those homegrown stars.
Yeah, exactly. It's the opportunity and all that. They're trying to tell me and explain to me that the first fight on the cards more important than the co-main event, because how much more eyes are on there. So they're trying to validate that to me. But for me, it's one, I'm going to complain no matter what, because that's my
sounds
job.
like promoter speak.
I'm trying to make noise. Exactly. I'm trying to be co-main event and main event of everything. I want my face on a picture and everything. On the posters and all that stuff. So that's mainly what I'm campaigning for, is all the above. But that being said, is they're saying that that it's the better spot on the card. But like I said, I want to be main event. I want to be co-main event of all these cards, and I want to earn my rankings. I want to fight the top and like be on the top of all these cards, and just I'm trying to be the man. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to be the man in the UFC. And I don't do that by starting off cards.
Yeah. No, I totally get you there, especially when,
and our division got cut. So it's like, we need all the push anyways. People don't really believe in the flyweight division as it is. The fight that I have is a banger of a matchup, a banger of a fight. And the way I'm thinking of it now too, is I went in there originally thinking like, this is kind of like disrespectful in the sense of like the flyweight divisions, because we're the highest ranked people on the card. Not that we're the highest ranked people, like second highest ranked or whatever. We're the highest ranked people on the card. That's 3 and number 5. And I'm considering myself number 5 in the world right now, because I think Joseph Benavidez is retired. So I consider myself 3 and 5 right now. I'm the top 5 of the division. And like I said, I think that alone should get us higher on the card and higher on the rankings. But neither of that matters right now to me, because either way it goes, I'm still in that fucking show. The show's mine, UFC, whatever it is going to belong to me.
That gives me goosebumps hearing that right there, man. It's been a great journey to watch you as you've came up through the Colorado ranks, from the LFA, becoming the LFA champion, smashing about every title fight record possible. Your birthday was this last week, and reshared a clip from a video that we did from that. Crazy to think how far along or how much life has changed for you in just a short amount of time.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when me and you did that interview, you asked me like, you have time to do it? And I remember thinking, I'm like, fuck, man, like I haven't slept all day. And I remember walking over to that spot, and I was like barely could keep my eyes open. I was so tired, and it was a few hours right before the next practice. And I remember thinking, like, right after that interview, I was like, if I stay here, I can go to sleep right now and get like an extra hour of sleep, And I was like, I can go to sleep right now, but it was a summer day and it's so hot outside that I was like, I don't think I can sleep in my car right now, So it was that negotiation was going on in my head that day when we did that interview. but you could hear it in my voice, man. I was so hungry and I wanted to get that job done so goddamn bad, man. That the fact that I'm here and I'm still just like, I'm like at the top of fighting in another title contention fight and being 4 fights in the UFC is just like, that was all validation. And rewatching that video that you shared, man, was like a touching moment for me, because I remember my mind stayed there. I was a broken person at that time. And I remember thinking, like, if I lose this fight for the LFA belt, man, I don't think I'll ever fight again, you know? And I thought that would be it was that point was like a win or lose situation for me. So I remember that exact moment. So when you shared that, it like brought all those, like, that moment I was feeling when you were interviewing me is, I remember it's all or nothing. Like, I was all in at that point, you know?
Oh, certainly, man. And I rewatched the full thing, and it still sends goosebumps just hearing just some of the things that you were saying, like, you know, you don't think flyweights are exciting. Like, watch my fights. Like, I'm a finisher.
Yeah.
I don't get paid overtime.
Yeah. You know what's cool about that interview too is I've done nothing but prove that shit since I've been in the UFC. Is that final interview right there when they're interviewing me for the fight? I remember I was like, this is my chance to kind of promote myself, and like I was just trying to speak from the heart and something authentic, you know. And I remember just like the flyweights just got cut, and like I was thinking in my head, I'm like, if they don't think flyweights are exciting, I think I'm one of the more exciting fighters there is, you know. And if it wasn't proof in that fight, like, watch my next ones, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that, one, I got the call up from Mick Maynard and got the opportunity to fight in the UFC, and then I'm even more proud of that I can go off and show up that I am one of the more exciting fighters that's ever been in the UFC, and definitely the most exciting UFC flyweight fighter there is.
Could not agree with you more there. I've said it for a long time that I think that you're the most exciting fighter on the entire planet to watch. We're speaking to Brandon Royval, the number 6, but let's call him number 5 ranked flyweight in the world, who's going to be fighting this weekend on the UFC card that will be available to watch on ESPN. Brandon, as we wrap up, just one last question here for you. In two sentences or less, what can the fans and the people expect to see from you when you walk into the cage on Saturday night?
Fucking craziness, man. Pure craziness, chaoticness. Just a controlled storm.
Controlled storm. Okay. I love it, man. Thank you so much for taking the time, Brandon. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to EAP Glass, Ed, Cyrus. Thank you guys for everything. It's not been possible without you guys. So thank you for your time, Jordan. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Folks, once again, that is the number 5. We're going to call it right away. Number 5 ranked Brandon Royval, Raw Dawg, who's going to be fighting this weekend on the UFC card on ESPN. Stick around after the break, folks. We're going to be diving into more MMA Plug content on the MMA Plug, presented by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio.
Yeah, little thick bitch, fine little mamacita. Always coolin' by the pool, drinking margaritas.